not a content creator.
You're
I'm
not?
a business guy.
You're a business guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me your business.
So we did gaming centers for a while.
Okay.
And then after COVID, we changed online, or we expanded online.
Move it closer to him.
Sure.
There we go. Because when I was like, you're a content creator. Well, the mic is far too way away. I was like, what's going on? Are you working with a boom mic? So you started businesses.
Yeah. Well, we started as a gaming center at the first, but we expanded into the online world after COVID hits. So yeah, we did a social media app for gamers. We do like gaming community stuff.
Okay.
So, are you a gamer?
Not really, but tell me more about it.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, when you're a gamer, it generates a lot of like random lobbies. You
Okay.
cannot enter with someone you know.
Okay.
So, and the servers are always non-Arabic.
Okay, so this is the sales pitch. Let's hear it.
No. It's not a sales pitch. But if you want to invest, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
No. So it gets you matchmaking system. Like it's a matchmaking system between players. Like if you are looking, like if you're a girl looking to play with other girls, and if you're a guy like with a certain like skill level,
Sure.
you don't want to play with someone who's an amateur. You know?
Okay.
So you can filter all that out, and you get matched with people. It's like Tinder for gamers.
Okay. So is this a service that the gamer purchases or the supplier side?
No. It's a game. It's a service that we provide in our social media app for gamers.
Okay.
And when they meet, they get to know each other. They play a lot.
Okay.
Then they get a notification. So you've been playing with a player in the same city as you.
Okay.
You can meet him in the gaming centers.
So would it be like Discord?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't have the like voice connectivity thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a social media app. Like you can post stuff. You can join teams, join tournaments.
Okay. And you're hosting tournaments as well through the channel itself.
Yeah, we currently have 300,000 users.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
And is it an app that they download onto their machine, or is it a web portal?
No, it's an app. Like
It's an
you
app.
can download it from iOS, Android. Everything.
Well, what's the company called?
Hoplay. So the company is Legends Gaming, but
Legends
the app
Gaming.
is Hoplay. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the app was a different company, but we acquired them.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And so what do you see then in the future then? Are you going to then work with game developers from that side, or
Well, so it's more of a social community, the gaming side. The gaming community has the most loyal fans out of all the communities out there. So the connectivity that this app brings, and the gaming centers, like when you have a place that shares your like values, like when you have a business convention, it's like a business convention but in a daily basis for gamers. Like when you go to the gaming centers, you'll find people with similar interests. Like every week we'd have a tournament, and then you would meet new people, get a training with, and yeah, so on and so forth. And this progresses to like next level income streams for the gamer itself. The gaming community is growing like by the second. It's the
Of course.
fastest growing industry in the world. So yeah.
Are you worried of the transition, what's occurring from video games in the sense of computer or PC and console to shift to mobile?
Well, actually, it's not about the device you use, it's about the community. So the gaming community is the gaming community. You can find it in your mobile, in your PC, you can find it anywhere. It's a gamer's community. So what I think is just like Starbucks, when you hear of Starbucks, it's coffee. You can do it at home. You can get better coffee at elsewhere. But people go to Starbucks for studying, for work, for like it's an environment, you know. So this is what
Okay.
we are trying to create: a community, an environment for gamers.
I'm trying very hard in my head because I haven't played anything since Arkham Knight, right? And I've never been a kind of person that liked interacting with other people. Never.
Yeah, well,
Not even League of Legends or WoW. I would mute chat.
Yeah?
To that extent, I just.
okay. So yeah, this is like you're the guy that
FPS is for me.
Okay, so no. You're the guy who ruined the gamers' reputations. So to be honest, it's like there has been studies for gamers, like, and this is kind of my go-to strategy when I talk to people or parents or decision makers. When they talk about gaming, they talk about gaming negatively.
Is that negatively what I'm talking about?
Yeah, because it's an introverted like environment. But
Sure.
what we're trying to do is transfer the gamer from that environment to a more like open environment, and this I think this is the most influential thing to say to a parent is don't buy your son a computer at home. He will scream all the time, you will punish him all the time, like you'll have a lot of issues when you have your son a gaming PC inside of the house. So instead, just subscribe to our gaming centers. You can bring your kid, he can play whatever he wants.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, I understand
and
the concept now.
also-
Okay.
Yeah, also the gaming centers, you can control the content. Like the parents know that we wouldn't put like any shady stuff
Sure.
on the gaming PC. So he would only play the games that we think it's more like
You know that
It's
what they're
like-
seeing is not يعني,
Appropriate.
appropriate and it's above level.
Yeah, and it's not about like educational games and whatnot. No, it's more of a like less controversial games. Like we do have
Minecraft.
Fortnite. Yeah, we do have Fortnite.
Sure.
We do have League of Legends,
Sure.
stuff like that. But it's better for him to play in the gaming centers with people around him,
Of course.
and talk to them face to face than sitting at home alone.
Now you're selling me. Now I'm
Great. How
I'm,
much do you want to invest?
أنا وش رايك على ريال؟ How much are you looking for?
This will get you less than an hour.
Yeah?
In our gaming center.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's still good. Real gets me less than an hour. That's not bad at all. You're very competitive. My God.
Yeah, we are. Actually, one of the main selling points as well is, so I'm giving a selling course.
That's why you're here. I love it.
Anyway, so one of the most selling points on the kids stuff. So when you're a parent and your kid wants to go somewhere and you want to go somewhere, usually they leave the kids at like entertainment places, and those are pretty much dead. And also you would have to pay a lot of money for 1 hour of playment, like the malls, entertainment centers or whatnot. So the parents would go shopping and they would leave their children in the entertainment center. That would cost them a lot of money, and they would still be afraid for their kids to fall off a game or something. But on the gaming centers that we have, it's a computer. What would he do? Like he would sit still for 4 hours until you come back and pick him up. So this is much more
True.
Like, safe.
And you know, it's أسهل على family because you're not constantly having friends at the house. They're going to shop. They're having a
Yeah.
space.
and like the average playtime on our gaming centers is 4 hours.
Okay.
So 4 hours a day. So it's more than like it's pretty much the same time they stay in school. So it's better to control this environment than to bring a PC at home and God knows what.
So
is he doing.
your largest expense is what? Staff or electricity?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically it. Yeah, and tournaments.
Doesn't it make more sense for your business to use NVIDIA? GeForce Now? To use a server with a virtual PC, so that you wouldn't have that sunk cost every time of buying a machine?
Well, we do have like similar to that. Like one server controls all the gaming centers, and
Okay.
the gaming centers has like any change that we do on the server would basically.
And
be
how
done on the game.
how many GPUs have you interlinked then?
No, I'm not using the GPUs. I'm using the storage only, like the storage server. Only.
Okay,
So, this is.
this is interesting.
This is too technical.
Oh, come on!
Yeah,
You don't know the
it's
answer to it. That's why.
Yeah, I don't actually know. So, we do like servers for data transfer. Like before, like 4 years ago, we would do an update on every game on every PC alone. But
So you do it
then-
by server base, and then it's completely
Yes.
done.
So-
but the rendering required for the game, depending on the game, is either CPU heavy or GPU heavy. And
always GPU.
it depends. Minecraft, for example, is CPU heavy, but I could be mistaken. But yeah, so I hear where you're coming from. What my thinking is that if you just get a subscription with Nvidia, which is, let's say, I don't know, 40 BD 400 ريال
Okay.
a month, which is a lot, but you don't have the initial sunk cost or the upkeep cost or the electricity cost from running the server on your end. Of course, you don't have as much control.
Yeah, but so it
فهمت
goes
علي؟
back.
إيه.
Yeah, it goes back to the business itself. Like, are you able to afford the up cost for a branch or not?
Sure.
So if you would be able to afford, you would get the GPU and pay for it upfront, than to have the GPU cost 4 months in a row, and then the subscription is purely profit for Nvidia.
For Nvidia, sure.
Yeah, so this is the concept. So the more upfront you do, the less cost it remains. And I like the business to have low costs.
Everyone does,
yeah.
صح?
It's the most important thing. If you have excess cash flow, you can do a whole branch without paying a dime. You can take everything from scratch, even the rent, with a loan from a bank, and then the business itself will pay it out.
Are you? How happy are you now that the miners are dead and GPU's costs have gone now
Not
down?
very happy, because I did.
Oh,
I did
no!
I did mining. Yes, I did invest in mining, because so when we're closed, the devices is not being used. So it's logic to just keep them running on mining. So we would make extra profits, and whenever the customer comes and it registers,
Okay.
the mining stops. After he finishes playing, he logs out, the mining starts again.
So it was used as, okay,
Yeah, it's maximizing.
you're maximizing your utilities.
Yes.
But on that subject then, what is your profit center? Is it the profit center, the credit that a person comes to buy 1 hour of gaming, or the add-on sales of the Coke, the sweets, the food?
This is actually interesting. Great question. So basically we still have the most profits coming from renting hours, but I think the future of the market is heading towards food. So
Interesting.
yeah,
okay.
because I visited Korea. Korea is the #1 gaming and esports country in the world. So when you go there, they are 10 years ahead on this subject. So Saudi Arabia has 40 million population,
Right.
and Korea has 50 million. So Korea has 36,000 gaming centers, and Saudi Arabia has, on the beginning of this year, had only 36 without zeros. So you see the difference. So I went there, I explored a bit, I figured out that it's mostly restaurants. It's a restaurant that has gaming equipment. So because of the culture of the Koreans, they love video games. So instead of going to KFC or McDonald's, they would go to the gaming center, eat there, and play at the same time.
I could see it working. I can see, especially if you get a chef from South Korea and do South
Yeah.
Korean style food with it as a combo.
Yeah,
Look, your eyes just shut up. You're like,
I might have to consider giving you a percentage.
No,
just
don't
for
worry
the
about
ideas.
it. Don't worry about it. Take it for free. But no, I'm serious. I feel like pizza and that's the pitch that you're gonna have to try to convince the parents of. Because
Well, actually, we went the other way around. So
Healthy.
Yeah, healthy.
that's
food.
exactly what I was thinking. Because
Yeah.
I would imagine in parents' head, South Korean food must be higher quality
Yeah,
than
higher.
pizza and burgers.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we're trying to mix between parents and the gamers themselves. When we started doing the educational gaming thing, or the controlling of the device content, so you cannot control everything. extremely controlled the device content, then nobody would show up at your gaming center because the gamers want certain games. But at the same time, you don't want to piss the parents, and you would be fought for it. So, like, you have to be in the middle between healthy food and between fast food. You have to be.
Can't you just make like healthy food taste like Doritos?
Well, if you found someone like this,
I'll
bring it to me.
message you.
Yeah,
I'll message you.
sure.
No, I like that business scheme. So how many venues do you have at the moment? How many shops? Two, one,
so,
three?
Yeah, we have 3. and
Mashallah.
Yeah, we are currently working on 2, and we do franchise now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to franchise the business?
Yeah, we're actually launching our franchise on the beginning of the next year.
Okay.
So yeah, we would like to expand on more smaller cities, smaller countries,
Okay.
because I think the markets there.
Have you
needs-
have you talked to people from KPMG?
Nope.
You know what you can do? You can have a meeting with them and set up defer payment, meaning that if they like your concept of your business and they believe it's worthwhile their investment,
Mhm.
they will work with you
Yeah.
and then give you a bill when you're profitable.
Wow.
So you can do a defer payment scheme. Of course, they either get a percentage of the company or they charge you interest on the fees in order to make it worth their time. But that way you can work with very big organizations, and they're connected to a lot of very wealthy VCs.
Yeah. So this is actually like interesting, but unfortunately now we are not looking for investments. We are looking for investors. Like if
What
you
did I
wanna
just say?
invest- No. So investments meaning we need investment. We don't. We just closed the funding round. So
Sure.
we don't need an investment for our company. We are profitable. We don't need the investment, but we do have the product. So we had 5 years of experience in the gaming centers. We tried everything. Like we know what works. So now we are selling this product to the investors. Like
that's
you
what
would
I'm-
have the same business.
That's what I'm saying, Habibi. I mean, like, listen, KPMG, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank all work very rich clients. Some of these clients that they work with have maybe failing businesses or maybe properties that you can then rent from them at a discounted rate and then have your franchise placed in them. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't have to look at it from a purely money in situation. You can also look at it from a perspective of those connections that you can get, right?
Yeah,
Especially
sure.
if you want to go international with it. Having
Yeah.
potential clients that have real estate all over the world in malls and blah 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 and blah blah blah. That's a
Yeah.
great in.
Yeah, sure. I think so.
By the way, I don't work for KPMG, so I don't know why I'm selling them.
Okay, so what do you think? What do you think is the most profitable thing in gaming?
The most profitable thing for gaming in my head would be the developer themselves.
No, well, that's a great answer actually.
Because,
But I think
sure.
it's the hubs. So
Okay.
the hubs. So today's game isn't about oil, isn't about like how much money you got. It's about how much attention do you get.
Okay.
So the big businesses and the business that controls everything are the media companies at the moment.
Why do you think I started this?
Exactly. So, like for our parents, they used to be influenced by the TV, and now we are influenced by the social media. So I believe that the most influential things for the future generation would be gaming, because it's the fastest growing industry in the world, and today's age, you barely see anyone that doesn't play games. So it would be.
Go on.
Yeah, so if I say this all the time. So if you have a kid or if you have a sibling, a younger sibling, if he doesn't play games, he would have his iPad and he would watch someone who play games.
Sure.
So this is the future like interest of.
Well, the reason I gave you such a weird face expression was because I believe what we're currently living in is the wild, wild west of gaming. And I think there is going to be regulations that are going to come in, not just from this region, but globally.
Yeah.
The reason I said developers, for example, was like, pay to win, skins, stuff like that. have been a huge financial drain on parents and on the industry, and it gives a bad reputation to everyone involved. But it's so attractive to investors that developers are almost forced into it to produce that, right? Famously, what was it? Star Wars Battlefront, EA Sports, that game required literally to spend money in order to unlock the characters. Otherwise, you'd have to play like 80 hours to get like Luke Skywalker, for example. So I believe that they're going to introduce regulations to it.
Well, they actually do introduce regulations all the time. Like, for example, League of Legends. Like, it's the second or third most played game in the world. So, League of Legends, when I went to Korea, I tried to play on their gaming centers to try out.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that because you require an ID to play the game. So if you did something wrong in the game, you would have a ticket sent to your name, just like a driving ticket.
It has to. It's going to come.
Yeah, I think Korea is like the future of gaming. I went there, like they are 10 years ahead. Like I
Aren't
said.
you worried that it could develop like China, where it just gets
Banned?
stopped? China, what, stopped game updates for almost a year?
I don't know. I think that's an interesting fact, but China is kind of
Powerful in their very fist approach.
yeah. So they're a bit like strict, if you know what I mean. So, and it's not that they stopped it completely. They stopped it partially. Like you can still play, but on a specific places for a specific time, unless you're over a certain age. And this is like
Sure.
I think this is good. This is not bad for.
But don't
the
you
industry.
feel with your own capabilities that it doesn't make sense to be on the back end rather than the front end? Rather than being a service provider,
Yeah.
actually being a game developer? Just because I feel like in this region, that's the thing that's really missing.
So I've met a lot of great game developers. They have tremendous games, but it's hard for games. It's
My
just
point
like,
exactly, yeah.
It's just like starting a YouTube channel as a business. So it makes sense. The ads revenue would be good, but how hard is it to grow your YouTube channel?
Yes and no, because our content, for example, I'll give you a great example with us. We're not interested on YouTube, and we're not interested in Instagram. We're not interested in TikTok. What we're interested in is owning the back end. What we spend our time on isn't so much on, hey, are we getting enough views on YouTube? It's, hey, are we producing content? Yes. And is it going on our servers? Is it accessible in our servers? And that's how we're branching out, is that we want to be the supply end.
Yeah, but on the game development side, you would do the same thing, but except that how would you make money? So the game developers has limited options when it comes to how do they get money. It's either a one-time buy, it's either a subscription based, or like free-to-play games, but you have to own like skins and
Sure.
like stuff like that to
Drive up purchases.
yes. So in order to do that, you have to reach a certain level. Like you have to at least have. You don't want to ruin your game when it starts, so you have to have as large a community as you can before you start implementing things to buy. Otherwise, people would hate to play the game. Like, look at the games, the mobile games, for example. It's filled with ads and ad spots. For what? Just because they want to develop their game more, but it drives away the
User attention.
the users. Yeah. So for our Hoplay app, for example, at the moment, like we had plans to launch the HP system where you can buy and rank up your account, but it didn't make sense for us to do it when we have only 300,000 users. We want to start doing it when we have 300 million users. So
Okay.
then it would be beneficial, but that means that we have to somehow keep our operations and development from the bucket, from our pockets. So this is why it's super hard to do something that is community driven, community based, without having capital or the capacity to do it for longer periods of time without stopping. Like if you're a one-man show, you can do it. But if you have a team, you have to feed them.
No, I'm thinking it from a perspective now of how your company functions. It's some of the things I would think that would be like a no-brainer would be having a correlating app on my phone that correlates with the machine that I want to use. So for example, I register with you guys, right? You take my ID, whatever. I buy either through the app or through you, amount of hours or time or whatever the currency you guys use to calculate that. I go up to a computer, I use my phone with the app to scan a QR code. It logs me on to whatever desktop I'm familiar with, right? And then it gets going. And the benefit between those two things is that one, you can use the app center of it and lock in people by offering them discounts. And if they haven't been like in a long time, you can send them reminders. You can drive that repurchase. It's a little bit more devious because you're talking about like teenagers.
Yeah, so no, this is an interesting approach actually. So the hard thing about this is the APIs. Like, you cannot just show up to any company's game and ask them for their development or their APIs, their database to add into your app. Who are you? Like, you have to have some kind of
Oh no, we're
record.
miscommunicating, Habibi. I'm saying that if you use a virtual desktop, like right now with a server end, right?
Yeah.
And it's tied to an account as you register, it creates a virtual desktop. All the games, everything else is still saved on the server. So just the login process happens through the phone.
Okay.
So instead of typing a username and password to log into the machine, or just paying you and just sitting on a machine that already has everything on it, you create that extra step, that little bit more friction, which is real, but in return, you get to do stuff like introduce coupon codes, introduce membership benefits, introduce like sign-ups and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm pushing this so hard to you. I don't do any of this. This is not my
Do you have
business.
somewhat of a software with this idea?
I have a background in business. I used to work as a consultant. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice,
so I done projects like this, and that's why when you talk to me about it, it like rings in my brain.
So that's why you have so many ideas about the consumer himself.
That's where the money's at.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So anything that you can upsell to make it like a reward based or achievement based on your app from the phone. Ooh.
Gamification.
Huh?
A gamification system. Yeah. Well, since you're a gaming app, you have to make it a game. So
Sure, why not? Make it achievements, make it whatever, do what you like. Just get people hooked on it, right? And then get them loyal to the service. Because your biggest danger is potential other competitors entering the market, no?
yes. So this is the thing. When you make your app interesting enough for like daily engagements, it doesn't matter what you do as long as you keep the player himself interested. So we had an issue like earlier on the app where people would get to know each other. They use our platform to matchmake, and then they take their username and
Going home and do whatever.
and ride off to the sunset.
Yeah.
And we would never see them
Again.
So we had to be like,
Creative.
Yeah, creative with that. So we did make it like a gamification system. We transitioned it into a social
Platform.
a social platform, yeah, where you can show off your rank, you can show off your achievements, and the more posts
I like
you
this.
do,
I like this.
yeah, the more posts you do, the more points you have. The easier it gets for you to matchmake with other people and
I
join
like
tournaments.
this. I like this. But what about if you could also use points to set up what the next prize of the competition would be? For example, if you could use points to say like, hey, this week's competition will be this game,
Okay.
and these are the awards because this is what like most people have put points to it, right?
Yeah.
So you can be like, it's 10,000 points and it's like, I don't know, 100 real. A million points and it's 10,000 real. You know what I mean?
This is actually amazing. So you're talking about rewarding the bigger.
And you do it as a
Happiness.
collective again, right? Because then you also get these people working together and
Yeah.
being like, hey, you know what? We could go like this and this and this, but if we all work together and pick the million, we could have a competition for 10,000 or 100,000 or whatever number
Interesting.
you guys want to go
approach.
with.
I think I forgot that we're doing a podcast and started like being a business
This is part of what we do, Habibi.
Okay, so what do you think is the most like engagement trick on the social apps that they use?
The biggest engagement, I believe, for social app, now above water, not any stuff that is not okay, is content made from your friends groups. So for example, Instagram, you want to interact first with the people that you're interested in. Right? That's the main sales point of Instagram. That's what they want, right? They want you to comment on the pictures. They want you to save it. They want you to forward it, right? So it has to be about stuff that Int's interested in. And then inshallah, hopefully, if that circle can complete, is that the creator then messages the user. Do you know what I mean? And that's when that unholy cycle occurs. That's at least for me.
Can you repeat the
The unholy cycle?
yeah?
So for me, the
You
unholy
already called it.
So what I see it as is that you have Instagram users
Okay.
who want to follow specific content sources, right? It could be
Okay.
a photographer, it could be sahib, it could be it could be whatever, right?
Okay.
And when you like or comment a picture, what do you hope for? To interact.
Engagements.
You want engagement, right?
Yeah.
And so the unholy cycle occurs is when I post a picture, you engage with me. This creates a dopamine effect in my brain saying I want to produce more content to get more engagement. And for the person who's engaging goes, oh, I got to reply. People are thinking about me. That's how that unholy cycle then goes on.
Okay, so how would you do that on a brand new social media?
How you would do it on your platform?
Yeah.
So I would either introduce elements of Twitch
Okay.
into my platform where creators can earn money by being very good at what they do. Therefore, come and use your website, your web services, go to your place, right? That's number one. And number two, I would make it very interactive with the people who are commenting. So when you make a comment on that video or whatever, it should be live. So it shows up on the feed.
Here's the issue. So you're talking about content-based social media.
Yes.
So there's social media that are not content-based, like conversation-based, like WhatsApp or Telegram. And I think our app isn't like content-based. It's more of a
Communication app.
community-based. Yeah, not a communication app. It's a community-based. Like you want to be a part of a team. You want to engage in tournaments. You want to win prizes and have groups. You know, it's similar to Discord. There's no content in Discord. It's more of a voice, but on so many levels. Like it's servers, communities within the Discord. So
I hear where you're coming from, but the
Yeah.
problem of being WhatsApp, it's very difficult to be profitable unless you're Facebook. And you can use that data to then sell to marketeers and stuff like that. Now, if you're saying to me, Hamad, hey buddy, we've been doing that for a long time and I'm very happy. That's mashallah alaik. My blessings.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So, obviously, the main thing that you're selling for a social media app, like if you're a business, you can leverage data, and there's no platforms that serves gaming data accurately. So I think this is where we leverage. Like we have, and I'm not saying this because it's my business, because it used to be not my business. I acquired that.
I like it. I like
So
where you're going with it.
I was telling them that they had the biggest gaming data out of all the Middle East companies, because
Mashallah.
when you know, like, when the players play, what do they play, what's the genders, what time do they play, what's the most appealing thing to them, like these are valuable information, and if you can distribute it across too many people, like for example 300,000 users, you would get so accurately based data
Sure.
for your marketing campaign or for whatever project that you are doing for gaming. So for example, last month we did a trial, okay? We did a trial to test our data, like is it accurate or not. So we called out Zed, you know Zed? It's like a Shopify but for Saudi Arabia. So it's an e-commerce platform. So we told them that if you had gaming e-commerce brands, send them to us. We want to market for them for free. So they gave us the top 5 selling stores. We took 5 products out of these stores. We did a marketing campaign with only 1,000 reals. And we got over 7,000 clicks with using our data, like our
Sure, analytics.
our analytics. So the return the return of
Investment.
the investment was
Huge.
humongous.
Huge.
Because there was a lot of products that had more profits than others,
Sure.
like laptops, for example,
Sure.
and it has a lot of margins. So
Sure.
if you would pay less than 8 reals and you would get 500 per sale, 500 purely profit per sale, you would absolutely do that again.
Well,
and
absolutely.
use that 500. So this is what we are coming
But
from. I
what
think
was the you got 6,000 clicks, but how much of that was closure?
it's all conversion.
6,000 was closure.
Sales, yeah.
MashaAllah.
Sales click
MashaAllah.
buttons.
MashaAllah.
So this is the thing, when you know the audience and you produce content for the audience, like you can market for all the companies. So I think the data is the most important thing in any business.
I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%. They often say that data is the crude oil of the new world.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Mia. My concern then is, why are you a gaming cafe
Okay.
and not a social media platform then?
Well, we are transitioning to that, but we have an ecosystem. You can't grow without an ecosystem. So the main thing that stopped Hoplay from growing is funding.
Sure.
Social media. We just talked about social media.
Sure.
And it's hard to grow as a social media. You have to be WhatsApp to be profitable. But for our ecosystem, we did the merger, we did the acquisition because we have a gaming center. But the gaming centers has so much cash flow, excess cash flow, and operational profit that allows you to manipulate whatever you want on the social media. Like this month we can test the e-commerce. The second month we can test whatever we want on the social media platform and develop more without needing the funding.
Do you not believe you can create a self-funded mechanism in that? Listen to it first before you hit me down. In that you get the audience who are currently either subscribed to you on location or are outside, gamify it, that they contribute, let's say, Mijal, to the location that they wanted, right? So let's say you pick 8 locations across Saudi.
Okay.
They almost like in Kickstarter, where they put 100 in, and then when it hits a certain number, that's the location they're gonna get, and the return of what they get from doing that is a discount for
genius
life, for
idea.
example, for 15% or 10%, right?
Okay.
Right?
That's a genius idea, actually.
And then that way immediately that there's.
He immediately started adjusting his vows. You're happy. You're proud with the idea. You should.
I should be.
You should.
Alhamdulillah. Hey, you know what? I love the idea. If you come back on the show, بعد سنة, and you said, hey, Hamad, these ideas didn't work, but these ideas did work, then I feel like I've done my job.
Well, I'm not sure if I can remember all the ideas, but yeah.
I'll send you the
Sure.
recording of the video.
Sure, yeah, let's do that. We'll meet in a year. And you'll see how much
We don't have to meet
accomplished.
only in a year.
No. Actually, how about you come to Saudi
Riyadh?
Arabia,
وين؟
you see the gaming centers,
خلاص.
and then yeah.
على خشمي. عليه
have
الشعب.
Hashem.
I'll bring the crew with the equipment as well. We'll do a promo
Sure.
video for you guys for free. There you
Sounds
go.
good.
What else would you need?
Nothing.
كم يوم جالس?
2
2?
يوم الأحد إن شاء الله.
So you're going back what?
Sunday night.
انت راجع مع ثاني البحرين next month?
I might. Yeah, I have a project to
إيه.
work on here, so I think I might come back.
تبغاني اوقع شيء؟
Famous.
It's just some
Like-
people walk past, wave. It's very weird, حبيبي.
Okay. So
Yeah. So
were
yeah,
saying?
if you're down for next month, you come down. Let's meet up.
Sure.
We can come back on the show, or we can do like a real show. Real show in the sense you come to our studio, Nejles.
So this is a fake show.
This is a real
Okay.
show for this venue,
Okay.
but it's not to any level that I like it at.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah?
Sure.
خلاص.
Let's do this.
Habibi, it's my pleasure. ما عليك يصير. Because we normally put weight على البutton.
Oh.